Hello again, and welcome to day 3 of week 2 of year 2 of the Religious Education Initiative here at St. George. We're continuing our way through the first epistle of St. Peter to the church at large, specifically to the church in Asia Minor. Last time we started that epistle, and remember, Asia Minor was the ancient heartland of the church. It's in pretty much what is now modern Turkey. St. Peter was talking to them at the beginning about the promise they had been given, what we've just been talking about, and how this promise, which they receive, even in the face of persecution, even in the face of death, again, it's the cross, that promise they have been given is the fulfillment of what the prophets had foretold, the precious thing that all the righteous of the Old Testament had longed for. He's telling them this to encourage them to remain faithful to the Lord, even when they are suffering for his sake. So now he continues. This is from chapter 1, verse 13. Therefore, prepare your minds for action. Discipline yourselves, set all your hope on the grace that Jesus Christ will bring you when he is revealed. Like obedient children, do not be conformed to the desires that you formerly had in ignorance. Instead, as he who called you is holy, be holy yourselves in all your conduct, for it is written, "You shall be holy, for I am holy." If you invoke as Father the one who judges all people impartially according to their deeds, live in reverent fear during the time of your exile. You know that you were ransomed from the futile ways inherited from your ancestors, not with perishable things like silver or gold, but with the precious blood of Christ, like that of a lamb without defect or blemish. He was destined before the foundation of the world, but was revealed at the end of the ages for your sake. Through him you have come to trust in God, who raised him from the dead and gave him glory, so that your faith and hope are set on God. Now that you have purified your souls by your obedience to the truth, so that you have genuine mutual love, love one another deeply from the heart. You have been born anew, not of perishable, but of imperishable seed, through the living and enduring word of God. For all flesh is like grass, and all its glory like the flower of grass. The grass withers, and the flower falls, but the word of the Lord endures forever. That word is the good news that was announced to you. Now, I didn't do this on purpose, but honestly, we could read the piece from Ecclesiastes that we read on Monday, on day 1, and we could read this together, and we can see them as being intended to go together, because he says, don't be conformed to the desires that you formerly had in ignorance. God has called you to be holy, so lay aside those things. You were ransomed, he says, from the futile ways of your ancestors, that vanity that Solomon talks about. He says Christ has ransomed you away from that. You're not stuck in those pointless ways of repeating, pursuing pleasure and wealth and power and all the things of this world. You can be done with that. Lay it aside, because he's ransomed you not with more stuff of this world, but with the precious blood of Christ, who transforms you through death into everlasting life. Now again, this is not okay, so let's hurry up and die so that we can be raised from the dead. This is, let us die to our earthly desires now. Let's give them up. Let's lay aside the idea. Let's just confess. Food won't make us happy. Pleasure won't make us happy. Money won't make us happy. Let it go. And turn to Christ. And hold fast to him. And then he tells them what to do. He says, so obey the truth and love one another deeply from the heart. And remember, all flesh is as grass. And grass withers and the flower fades, because everything is vanity. What lasts? The word of the Lord lasts forever. And we are called and named by the word of the Lord, and we become one with him. So we will endure forever if we are faithful. So this is what Peter is calling the church to. He says, This is the battle. This is the struggle. The world is always going to be calling you back and saying, be loyal to us. Value the things that we value. He says, don't do it. You've been called to a higher call. You've been called to die to this world every day of your lives and be faithful to Christ. And however long you live, whether it is many years or only a few, be faithful to Christ. For his word, his life, his light, his love, that lasts. That is not vain. That will endure. So we are called very clearly out of this world and called to live as citizens of the kingdom that is to come, even as we live in this world. That is what it is to be Christians. We're different because of the hope and the life and the love that is in us in Jesus Christ. So, that is it for this week. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week.